Hi, Scott Weaver with Factory Direct Designers Workroom. Today we're going to go over how to make multiple scallops on a valance. Now I was at a friend's house the other day and she had made a nice little scallop valance. The one thing I noticed about it though is that there were seams all over the place on it. Like some were on the scallop, some were halfway into the scallop. And the uniformity of the scallops weren't exactly right. Well, of course, I'm not going to say anything. But then it brought me to the point that maybe I ought to do a video on how to make perfect scallops and multiple scallops for your valance. So in front of me, of course, I've got a piece of material. And we're going to show you how to do two types of scallop valance. One with each width being scalloped, and then another one with two scallops in this one width. So we're gonna work on the one scallop first. So what you want to do is you want to fold your material in half, and then you need a short point and you need a long point. So once you figure that out, and I like to be like a 3 to 4 inch difference between my short point and long point. You want to overcut your material by a ½ inch. So in this case, it's going to be 14½ inches here. Of course, that's, with my sewing allowance, it'll be less, of course. And on this side here, I'm going to make it 10½ inches. Okay. Now, going to this 10½ inches, you want to leave a straightness of a ½ inch. And that's going to be your sewing allowance. And then we're going to come down and we're going to slowly taper this down to give it a nice shaping. Now what I like to use is a chain weight instead of just freehanding this. And you don't have to use this, you can use any type of string. The reason why I like to use this is because it's lead. It's lead covered in fabric, and it's easy to get the shaping that you like. So once you get a nice shaping to it, you can go ahead this is what makes it nice. Now I'll turn this around after you can see it, but what I've done is I put a little straightness to it and then I started my curve. And this is going to be a rod pocket, so by the time it shures up, that straightness there will kind of feed in and it won't be so straight. Once you get the desired look, go ahead and trace it out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Okay, so now here's my first scallop. And it looks just like that. Now let's say I need 2 or 3 of them. All I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to place another one on top of this one. Or however many you need for your project. Okay, now, look at what happens here. You're going to take this one when you sew it. And the reason why you have this a little straight on here is because when you do, this one will sew right onto this one right here. So you have a continuation of your scallops. Then, since you have this, your last one, so you make as many of these you have. Now it might only be one, but look at what's going to happen here. Your last scallop should be a half scallop on each side instead of a full scallop, so you're not ending with the short point. So this is what I'm going to do. Take this in half. Just going to give it a little crease here. See if I can see it. Yep. Cut it in half. Now, this is what happened. This gets joined to here. And that'll be your end part of it. So this is a quick lesson, and then this one, of course, would be joined here. So it's a quick lesson on shaping a valance out. And so now you can use as many as you want here. Now let's say instead of one big scallop, you want 2 scallops in each one of these. Oh, and to point this out, what's nice about where this seam is, it's always going to be in the short point of your valance. So as many widths as you want, you're not going to have a seam here or a seam here. You're always going to, this is controlling where your seams are. Your seams are always going to be right where it comes up on every single width of material you're using. So that's why you want to do it this way. Now, let's do a double. So we're going to take one fabric, one more fabric. Again, we're going to fold it in half, and I'll show you what happens here. Fold it in half. Now you want a double scallop now. There's your material. And so the idea is to come, you want to come to, you want it to come like this and go back up again. So we're going to come like this. We're going to flip this over one more time. Just like that. This is our center point of the scallop. So we're going to come from here, and we're going to come over. Going to use the same 10.5 inches. Now all this is telling me is where the center point of my scallop is. 14.5 inches. Using the same string, I'm going to give this a nice little scallop. Get it to where you like it. Make sure we open up, we like it. Looks pretty good. Must be somebody's home. Give your dog going off. And here's your double scallop. just like that. You go ahead and put as many scallops as you want onto this. And then if you need a half scallop for your return, basically you'd be cutting it right off of here. You'd be taking, this is what you'll be doing, okay? So you do as many of these as you want. When you're done, you can always cut this off right here. And then the side that's going to go onto your end pieces where it's going around the return, you'd be giving it a half. Just like that. So you'd have this here, this over here. So you do as many scallops as you need to do with the doubles, as I just showed you. Then finish it off with halves on each end. So that's a quick and easy way to do a scallop valance. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments on the bottom if you have any questions, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.